Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the People's Voice. I am Trey Evans, and I am the People's Voice. Thank you again for checking out the podcast this week. As always, it is greatly appreciated. As always, we thank everyone who has taken some time to listen to the podcast today. We do understand that you could be utilizing your time to do something else, so we are appreciative of you taking that time to spend with us. As always, if this information is valuable and you do feel it to be enlightening, we do ask that you subscribe to the podcast. That way you'll be notified when each episode is released. Also turn on notifications. We put out a new episode each and every Friday, which is heard on all podcast platforms. And then we also put a video out on YouTube every Wednesday as well for those who like to watch the podcast. But in any event, we thank you and welcome to the People's Voice podcast. So today, I want to talk about the state of hotels, the state of hotels or the hospitality industry, but specifically hotels, and where they are at in terms of quality. Also, some of the other headwinds that they're facing in regards to capital and labor cost. And, I kind of want to talk about specifically what to do if you stay at a hotel and you are not pleased with the accommodations that you have been provided. And then I want to talk, like I said, some of the factors that may cause you to have an unpleasant stay at a hotel as you begin to travel for many next couple of months. Summer travel is upon us here in the United States. And so, many people will be traveling. So I thought this was a great time to talk about this. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Hotels here in the United States, really across the country, but, I'm going to keep it towards here in the U.S. And I want to talk about this because I recently had to travel. Took a few days, week ago, to travel for a convention. And the convention was great. Learned a lot of information, made a lot of good contacts, and it was good from that standpoint. It's always good to travel and to get out and meet people and learn new information. The part of that, of course, is that I decided to stay at a hotel. Now, I know many people who not only advocate for Airbnbs. I know, a couple of people who own Airbnbs, and they say, well, you need to stay at an Airbnb. And I think I've said it before on this podcast. I'm just not comfortable staying at Airbnbs. Nothing against Airbnb. It's just not me. I prefer to stay at a hotel. And with that, surprisingly, staying at a hotel, I was taken aback about this one specific hotel. And I don't want to name the hotel because this is really not geared towards slander of the hotel. But the experience was definitely disappointing, specifically for a number of reasons. Number one, this is a hotel brand that I stay at quite often when I travel. It's my preferred brand. Secondly, this hotel has a very high rating. I mean, this is a diamond class hotel. And for those who may not know what that may be, obviously most people have heard of 5-star ratings, but diamond class hotels are hotels that are rated by AAA. AAA, most people may know AAA as the auto um, the the automobile club that you call if you need a tow for your vehicle, or you need some type of assistance with your vehicle. But they also have a arm of their company where they rate hotels. And those of us who travel, specifically those of us who may be members of AAA, we are very familiar with this rating. And oftentimes, I know for myself, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I know I often rely on that rating to make a decision on whether or not I will stay at a specific hotel. And as I said, I usually stay at the similar hotels in terms of the brand. So quite a few of their hotels are rated in this way. And as I was talking, I was trying to look up what AA meant. AAA meant. I'm so used to just using the three letters, but AAA stands for American Automobile Association. But in this particular case, they have a rating system that they rate hotels on. And that rating system, can go anywhere from approved all the way up to a 5-star, a 5-diamond rating. And, I'm pulled this up here for those of you who are watching the podcast. I pulled up the rating here. So I guess a one diamond rating says that it's noteworthy by meeting the industry leading standards of AAA inspections. A 3-diamond hotel has comprehensive amenities, style, and comfort levels. A 4-diamond has upscale style and amenities enhanced with the right touch of service. And I'm stopping there for effect. The right touch of service. And then last is a 5-diamond rated hotel, which has world-class luxury amenities and indulgence for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Why am I going through this? And there are people saying, okay, great. Speaking about the hotel industry, so in my stay, and a lot of this podcast will be about a personal story, because again, this is what initiated this topic today. So I opted to stay at a 4-diamond rated hotel. Again, this is rated by AAA. And I have stayed at these level of hotels before. And just as the rating states, it comes with a certain level of upscale style and amenities enhanced with the right touch of service. So I get to the hotel, and I'm not going to go through the whole story, but, basically the room, and this was not just a standard room. This was one of their more upscale, more expensive rooms. Was just like unbelievably just wasn't in good shape. Just a number of signs that the room was not properly cleaned, issues with the plumbing, issues with the AC. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And because of that, I, of course, notified the hotel of what was going on. And, for my stay, I was credited the full amount because it just was, totally unacceptable. The conditions that I was presented with. In any event, it gets me to where I want to talk about today. So after this experience, I then started to, just naturally do research, which I didn't do prior, but the hotel industry is struggling. And it is struggling because of a number of reasons. And I'm going to kind of go through that and then talk about some things you can do if you encounter the experience that I recently had at a hotel stay. So what is causing this, right? Because there has definitely been a decline in the level of service, also in the level of cleaning. And, I've been pulling up just reports and news stories and other experiences from hotel guests. And this has definitely been one of the effects, if you will, of the pandemic. So the first issue that's currently going on is that these hotels are having tremendous staffing issues. And there was a couple of articles that I read about this, but I was reading an article from Yahoo Finance, and they talked about this. And it was basically a story that was provided by the Wall Street Journal, but it was reported on the Yahoo Finance site. And it says, according to the article from the Wall Street Journal, shortages in hotel staff and increases in their wages not only puts pressure on the hotels to pass these costs on to consumers, but it also is causing a huge issue in terms of the level of service. I'm reading another article here from Yahoo Finance, and in here it says basically the customer is the loser in the new hotel industry. Says that hotel rooms are dirtier, the prices are higher, and you're getting less service. And again, a lot of this has to do with the pressure that is being felt in terms of the labor shortage. So here on this article that I'm reading, it says operators that scaled down on staff during the pandemic era labor shortage are in no hurry to staff back up. According to industry analysis, hotel staffing during the pandemic saw its biggest plunge in 3 decades, according to figures compiled by Unite Here, and it has yet to come back. Hotels that scaled back room cleaning found that more often than not, most customers didn't miss it. That is a lie. I'm sorry. I don't know who would miss having their room clean. Additionally, with the lack of labor, and I'm still reading this article from Yahoo Finance, it says labor prices are going up. Hotel owners are perfectly fine with not having to pay for housekeeping. And it goes on to say, I think the customer is the loser here. Room rates are fully back and more, but you're getting less service. And this is definitely, one of the issues that is creating this problem. Matter of fact, there was an interview on Yahoo Finance, and they talked about this in a panel. So let me just play some of their comments regarding really the cost in labor, the cost of labor, and how this is affecting the experience for those of us who travel and stay at hotels. And then I'll continue from there. So let me just play this and then we'll go from there.
Ahead of the shortages that we saw in 2021, but
not
like we were saying,
yet.
We're not fully back yet.
Yeah, employment in the accommodation sector is still, I believe, down 9% compared to early 2020. So we are still seeing that pullback. And then you have to keep in mind that these workers who are going to do their jobs, who are working at these hotels, some doing multiple different jobs, like the Wall Street Journal highlighted, some, also folding towels at the pool, while also working the front desk reception. And so at what point do these workers then say, hey, we're doing way more than what we did maybe 4 years ago in the same exact role. What can I get more?
And that sentiment that was expressed there is an actual reason, another reason why you have such, and I don't want to make it widespread, right? I'm coming off of an experience, so I don't want to just label the entire hotel industry this way, but there have been consistent reports of this level of service that has fallen off. And as stated here in this interview on Yahoo Finance, another reason for this is because you now have individuals doing multiple jobs. So it's no longer just housekeeping, just doing rooms. You have housekeeping employees doing multiple roles within that process, which of course means that there are going to be some shortcomings in multiple areas within the hotel or within that experience. Some things before I go into some things that you could do, another one of those issues, that's what I kind of wanted to highlight. Another reason why, you're experiencing this is because there has been a huge decline in hotel occupancy. I'm reading an article here from CoStar, and they put out a report just last week, and it says that the decline, U.S. hotel occupancy has declined year over year for 12 consecutive months, decreasing 2.5% relative to March of 2023. 1 year of no or low demand growth finally took its toll. Average daily rate in the industry saving grace over the past year struggled to move the needle, just rising 0.4%. But, basically another issue is that their occupancy levels at these hotels has dropped tremendously, well, not tremendously, but has dropped significantly for 12 consecutive months. So obviously occupancy drops. That means that there is less money. And you know what I say, everything in the United States costs money. So that includes having quality housekeeping and maintenance in these hotels, but with low occupancy, of course, that is contributing to the reason why hotels are basically starting to experience lackluster, or some hotels, let me not label all, some hotels are experiencing lackluster experiences or providing lackluster service during your stay because of this. In addition, the cost to the cost of capital is much higher because interest rates don't just affect consumers who are trying to buy homes, and that drives me crazy every time I hear somebody just keep they keep talking about interest rates are high. Well, it's not just, interest rates are high for consumers. Interest rates are high for businesses as well. Many businesses pay their payroll based on loans. And so, it costs a lot of money to borrow. It costs a lot of money to borrow money, which of course, a lot of these hotels, they have loans that are coming due that are now coming under the new interest rate and things of that nature. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole too much, but the cost of borrowing money is another reason why, or the cost of capital is another reason why a lot of these hotels are, some hotels, I got to keep scaling back, some hotels are struggling to keep up with the maintenance and to keep up that ambiance and that perception of what quality service should be. But to close out here, what can you do in the event that you check into a hotel and the service is not up to par and you either want to get a partial or a full refund? So I'm reading an article here from USA Today, and they kind of went through this. And in that, they talked about three things that you can do. It says, before asking for a full refund, see what the hotel can do to fix the problem. Now, even in my situation, I called immediately once I discovered, these things, and some things were rectified, but then other things kept coming up throughout my stay. So I just want to make sure I give that clarification. But it says, see what the hotel can do to fix the problem. If it's a serious problem and you're staying at a reputable hotel, it will try to avoid losing you as a customer. So number one, it says, be specific about your disappointment. Give specific examples, which I did. Not only did I give specific examples, but I also sent an email to the operations staff at the hotel giving specific examples of what was going on. It says, for example, a 5-star hotel should have a concierge on duty or 24-hour room service. If your 5-star resort doesn't mention it, of course, you need to bring that up. So that's number one. Be specific about what disappointed you about your stay. The second thing that they say here is show evidence. And that's very important as well. In my particular case, what I did was not only did I, obviously make the complaint to the front desk, but I also provided evidence of what was going on by taking video and showing that to the hotel operations. And then last but not least, it says, explain your options. In my case, I made it very clear I was only there for 2 nights or 3 nights, and that, each night I was basically inconvenienced, and I wanted to be compensated for that in some way. So explain what your options are. We did discuss, possibility of having a room switch, but in the end, I was provided a full refund because A, I documented it. I documented my issues. B, I showed evidence of the misrepresentation. And then C, I went through the options, which basically left me very limitless in terms of my stay, which is why I was provided with a full refund. So I hope this information was valuable. And as always, if it was, please feel free to leave a comment. You can reach me on any of the social media platforms. I am at I am Trey Evans on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also reach us at the show podcast, which is the People's Voice Podcast. The People's Voice Podcast. So that's my time for today. As always, dreams are not just for sleeping. Please wake up and live your dreams. My name is Trey Evans, the People's Voice. Tell somebody about the dream. Salute.